Hello and welcome to the Community Shares of Illinois interview sessions, a podcast where we give our members a chance to talk about their wonderful organizations and the meaningful work that they're doing. With us today, we've got a special two-person episode with Rory Gilchrist and Dushaun Branch-Pollard from Change, Illinois. How are you both doing today?
I'm doing well.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Good. Great to hear. And this will be interesting. I haven't done one with two people yet, so we'll give it a shot. So just to kind of start things off, I'll ask, how long have you been with the organization? You want to start maybe Dushaun?
Sure. Yep. I have just been with the organization since the end of February of this year. So very new to the organization and learning a lot as I come in and connecting with a lot of people. So before this, I was a community organizer in North Lawndale, and also I'm an adjunct professor in North Central College in Naperville and a yoga teacher as well. So a lot of those skill sets I have brought to Change Illinois and learning so much from the organization. So super excited to be here.
Great. You sound like you're a very busy woman. And Rory, how long have you been with Change Illinois?
Yes, thank you for the question. I have been working alongside Change Illinois for close to 3 years now. My engagement with Change Illinois started when I was lucky enough to be selected as one of 13 members of a regular civilian-led Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission, which was an independent mapping commission for the city of Chicago. And myself and my 12 fellow residents of Chicagoans, we were selected basically to represent Chicago's diversity in race, diversity in age, diversity in from where in the city we were coming from. We held hearings. We were trained on mapping software. We learned about the cultural and legal questions that are at play here in redistricting. We learned about communities of interest when we heard testimony. And we ended up drawing maps, several rounds of maps for a ward map that was based on that testimony. So that experience that I had on that, serving on the Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission, was really eye-opening for me in terms of understanding how redistricting affects basically every other policy area, issue of concern. If you want your potholes filled or your garbage taken away or your schools to be high quality, redistricting really, really matters in all of that. So after being on the Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission, I became the project's coordinator for Change Illinois on staff, and I've been on staff for just over a year. It's been an incredible journey.
Wonderful. Great to hear. A lot of experience in that realm. And so just in case any of our listeners or viewers aren't really familiar, I'll ask, what kind of work does Change Illinois do? And maybe I'll pass it right back to you, Rory. You can kick it off.
Excellent. Well, so Change Illinois is a nonpartisan nonprofit. We work statewide, and we've striven for years to make Illinois and our government be fair, efficient, effective, and representative in every way that it can be. So what does that look like concretely? Well, as I mentioned, we've been pushing for independent, fair redistricting commissions that we really see as being the gold standard for drawing legislative, local, and congressional boundaries, as is the case in many states. California does it this way, Michigan does it this way, and plenty of other regions and jurisdictions around the country do it, and we would love to see that brought to Illinois. We also do a lot of good work around the census itself. We do work around the concept of prison gerrymandering, which is the process by which people who are incarcerated in prisons and jails in Illinois, if they are located there on census day every 10 years, they're drawn in that location for the purposes of redistricting for 10 years, which results in a net movement of the political representation away from their home communities. And these are home communities to which Illinoisans overwhelmingly respond once they're released from jails and prisons. And so we've been working very hard with a number of community groups to end that historic injustice. We do a lot of other good work in ethics and reform around the state, and we do that work collaboratively as well.
That's very important work. I'm glad to hear about that. Dushaun, do you have anything you wanted to add to that, or that pretty much covered
No,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Rory covered it.
Okay. Well, I'll start with you on the next question then. Do you have a favorite part of your organization's work that you really find helpful for others?
Yeah, the thing that I really enjoy about the work with Change Illinois is that we are nonpartisan and that we are working to ensure ethics reform and better government really for everyone, wanting to maintain democracy. When I came on board, coming into this work, knowing that gerrymandering, what I've learned through research and from coming onto the team is like it's an incumbent protection plan. And that is something that I really care about is that we need, spaces and places for people to be able to run for office, and we need to have new voices at the table. And I love that we're doing work to ensure that other people can have their voices at the table to make, government better for all people. And that is something that I'm really eager about. And I also just think that the work that we're doing is ambitious. I think, a lot of people have thoughts about if it's possible to end gerrymandering in the state of Illinois. And it's very ambitious. And we have a team that is, going forward, a board who really believes in this. And I love things that are a challenge. And this is challenging work. So that's some of my favorite.
Yeah, I love that answer. And then Rory, do you have a favorite part too?
Yeah, I think that everything that we do is led by our community. We're constantly working to connect with communities, connect with our partners, other nonprofits across the state, whether they're a small, large nonprofits, whether they're focused in one region of the state or if they're statewide like us. Getting to meet new people, being in new communities, having these engaging conversations where people learn how redistricting truly is central to the way that our society is run. Those conversations, those engagements are really, really rewarding to me.
Great. Yeah, definitely. Great to hear that. So then I'll give you a chance. Is there anything new coming up with Change Illinois? Any upcoming events you'd like to talk about? I don't know who'd like to talk first on that one. Dushaun, you looked like you were nodding along. So
Sure. Yeah, I'm really excited about a lot of things that we have coming down the pipeline. One of the things that is still in the works, but I'm really hoping comes to fruition, is a redistricting ride with the organization Equiticity. They do a lot of transportation justice work, and so we're hoping to organize a bike ride with them and the West Side Branch NAACP to ride through a community, through a ward in Chicago, and start on the west side of Chicago. And the ward that we're going through will end in Fulton Market. And that just shows how different the community is. One ward, one alderman, and what it looks like. And so wards should be drawn where there are communities of interest, where you know your neighbors. And this is such a visual example of how when gerrymandered, when politicians draw the maps and the wards are gerrymandered, how it looks. So that's something I'm really excited about. We'll also be doing a convening at Bradley University in the fall. And then we'll be traveling throughout the state, trying to connect with a lot of college students. We've had a community engagement, a campus engagement coordinator working with us this summer who has done a lot of outreach to colleges, and we've heard back from some people. And the goal is really to do a lot of education sessions on college campuses and in communities, but also to hear from people. What are the things that you care about in your community? And with anything, you can connect it back to your maps being gerrymandered and redistricting. And so I'm looking forward to being out in community, talking to a lot of people. But I'm not a big bike rider, but I am looking forward to this bike ride. I might have to drive a little bit of the way, but I'm excited about it.
That's exciting news. Rory, was there anything you wanted to add on to that, or
No, I'm excited for that bike ride as well. I'm gonna get
yeah?
my helmet on and my reflective clothing, and it's gonna be great.
Oh, excellent. That sounds fun. Um, and then this is the part where I shamelessly plug us and say, is there anything that you're really excited about or happy about as far as being a part of Community Shares of Illinois? Uh, I'll
Yeah,
go to Rory, I guess. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, we love that we are a part of making this state better. Um, we understand that so much of why things are the way that they are comes from the fact that the powers that be are trusting that regular folks will stay disengaged, will be uninformed or discouraged or worse when it comes to participating in our politics. So whenever we can meet people where they are at, when we learn from them and get them to support us, um, even if it's just a small amount on a regular basis, each paycheck that is an animating principle of why Community Shares does what it does. That really makes a huge impact. It really transforms us into this wonderful network of civic activists that are collectively watching our public officials. These are the people whose salary you pay for with your taxes, and the people who ask for your vote every couple of years. Also, in Community Shares of Illinois, we're touched to be alongside other groups that are advancing gender equality, racial equality, animal well-being, so many other really incredible causes. So that in itself is definitely an inspiration. Where we are coming from, Dushaun and myself and the entire Change Illinois team, is that whatever issue you care about, these issues that other marvelous nonprofits in Community Shares of Illinois spend every day working on, those big decisions on a societal level are being made by our public officials. So when gerrymandering shapes who those officials are, that is effectively who is making those decisions on our behalf. So we find that being in Community Shares of Illinois, really is us living out our message of understanding how redistricting is at the intersection of every other policy issue.
Ooh, I might have to use that soundbite sometime.
Yeah, go
Thank you.
ahead. We're big fans of Community Shares.
Well, thank you. And so then we'll kind of close things out. I'll ask you both this. What's the best way people can support Change Illinois? Anything you want to talk about as far as how donations are used or volunteer opportunities or anything you really want to talk about? Maybe I'll start with Dushaun.
Sure. I think, as we rev up and try to get out to as many spaces and places in the next few months, I think people can volunteer. They can reach out via our website to set up a one on one with me or sign up to volunteer. We have a group that we've established called the Creators of Change. They're helping us really revamp the education sessions that we will be going out and talking to people about. So that's a place that people can volunteer. They can also volunteer to host us at a book club, a block club party, a Rotary Club meeting, whatever anyone is having and they'd like to have us come out. We would love to come and talk about the work that we're doing, but again, also hear from community members about what are the things that they care about and go from there. I think with when people donate to Change Illinois, it directly impacts the work that we're able to do. So being able to have a campus engagement coordinator this summer to help us build capacity and to reach out to people. That is a reflection of the donations that people make. But I really hope that people will reach out and just even talk about the things that they care about, but bringing us to their homes or to a library to have a meeting with 2 to 3 people, that's enough. And that's a wonderful way to get engaged with the work that we're doing, because it starts small and then bringing additional people and pulling people in there. We're also hoping to do a township initiatives in the spring of 2024, getting questions on township ballots about redistricting. And that's a wonderful way for people to get engaged in community. So if people are interested, they please reach out on our website. I love to talk to people and really learn from them, and then see where their passion aligns. Coming from the world of higher ed, I'm like, anybody, whatever skill set that you have, we could use you. So we're more than happy for anyone to join us on this journey.
Definitely. And anything you wanted to add to that, Rory?
No, I mean, Dushaun said it pretty well. We want to hear from Illinoisans. We want to learn from you, get to know where you're coming from. So please do reach out to us. Our website is changeil.org, and we're at changeil on many of the social media sites. So yeah, let us know. Get in touch.
Right, definitely. Yeah, like Rory and Dushaun said, please go reach out to them. Change Illinois, changeil.org. You can also find a link to them on our website, communitysharesillinois.org, as well as our other members. If you have any other concerns you wanted to try to address through charity, I highly recommend Change Illinois, though. They're doing excellent work, very important, getting things changed in the state of Illinois. So with that, I want to thank Rory Gilchrist, Dushaun Branch-Pollard. Thank you for being on today and giving us all this wonderful information. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. And everybody, join us again next time on the Community Shares podcast.